another lunch break, another, hang on, that was bad mic etiquette. Another lunch break, another knitting adventure. So, oh, I hate the sound so much. It's so bad. Awful, terrible, awful. This is a lampshade that I bought secondhand for this very exact purpose. It is to mitigate the terrible lighting. We do not like the overhead lights. I don't know why they're on today. They are not welcome in my face. But I wanted a lampshade for my office to hang out and be cozy with. So I bought this, found it at a thrift store. It was exactly what I was looking for, and I found a free pattern for a lampshade cover. I had seen the stripy one. I saw someone talk about knitting projects for autumn or for summer, about home decoration, and I saw that knitted lampshade and I loved it, but I didn't know if I wanted the stripe effect, so I found this lantern cover pattern instead, which is all over knit. And now I want to see if my second attempt is working out, because the first time I made this I ended up just wildly overestimating the number of stitches that I needed, and it was a ridiculous look. And now I think I still have too many stitches, but it might be better, so you are going to see in real time with me if this worked out or not. Oh, this is a frosted glass, which is, I wonder if the camera is even angled so you can see what I'm doing. And by the camera, I mean my phone. Such a professional setup. This is going to have to do. What are you going to do? This is frosted glass, so it feels awful to touch. Partly why I want to cover it, because it's a terrible sensory experience. Okay, so, oh, the inside is a lot better because it's smooth glass. Okay, so this is where I am at with it. The problem now is that I should, because I'm halfway down, if I stretch it, I should start decreasing, but if I decrease, I won't be able to fit the pattern or the project over the bulb. Is it still too large? I think so. But I don't want to remake this again. I have zero intention of doing that. Okay, so if I stretch it, I should have brought my longer needles to knit this with, my longer circulars. Okay, but I think I could knit another 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 rows, and then start decreasing around the bulb. This is, oh, interesting sound effect. This is probably not going to be a successful project because it is designed for paper lanterns, which makes a lot more sense because those are bendable. A glass orb is very much not. So I'll just pop this back and go from there. So today we have an after work planned, and I'm excited to hang out with my co-workers. They are really kind people, and two things can be true at the same time, and I want to just go home and hang out on the sofa with my book, Joyful Sock Knitting, Colourwork Socks. You know the book I'm talking about. And I would also like to go pick up the yarn that I got. My new sock yarn, because that arrived. Got a notification today that the yarn is... I was supposed to thread this on the other way around, because I'm knitting with the chunky needle and I'm slipping the stitches onto the tiny needle, because I found that when I was using the big needle on both sides, it just slipped. It didn't slip, it just snagged. Do I have... No, this isn't good enough. This isn't big enough. And I didn't bring my knitting kit either. Watch me break a pencil. Yep. Haha. Will you instead watch me break an earring? Oh, damn. This is so silly. And losing stitches. Well, she's a professional. She's... Take me seriously in my knitting work. Honestly, sometimes I wonder, have I done this for 20 years, or am I just beginning? Don't think that I dropped anything important. This is a thrifted yarn that I bought at the flea market that was in the city a few months ago, or a month ago, and I bought it for this specific purpose. So I knit one row and then I knit two together, made one, knit two together for a few rows or centimeters, and now I'm starting to decrease, and I did that by knitting two together, knitting two together, making one, knitting two together, knitting two together, make one, in the hopes that that would sort of slim out the top. And the yarn is very, very thin. It's one of the thinnest fluffy yarns I've ever worked with. I think I looked it up, and it is a silk mohair. It's very soft, and I couldn't just leave it. It was €1 per skein of yarn, and there was only one ball left, so I couldn't just leave it. I didn't have the heart to. And then I had to do something with it. I've seen that some people have like a rule for their yarn hoard, that they only give themselves a set amount of months to start a project with the yarn that they get, because they wanted to pace themselves from buying yarn without the intention or the realistic ability to knit with it. And I think I like that. I've never really had a problem with buying yarn and then not using it. I have bought yarn and then only used some of it, which happens quite often for me because I knit so many socks, and the yarn I buy is then rarely ever the perfect amount for the pair that I'm knitting. So I have a lot of sock scraps, and other than that, I buy yarn for a specific project. But now that we were in Norway over the summer, I bought more yarn than I had realistic plans for the next few months. And now I'm starting to feel that mental weight on me. So I'm starting to feel like I have more yarn than I know what to do with, although I do have plans for everything in the stash, the hoard, but I would like to not have more yarn, or I would like to not buy more yarn than I will actually use, which is a beautiful contradiction to the fact that I just bought more sock yarn, which I had plans for, but I had plans for the other yarn as well. So why am I buying yarn when I don't have the time to knit with the yarn? So I'm thinking either I work very strictly one project at a time, so I get move on with my projects and actually get some of the yarn out of my hoard, or I cast on just a bunch of projects to get the yarn working, even though it's not being finished, it is on the needles for a project. And I don't know what I would enjoy most, because right now I have did I just forget my own? Yes, I did. I forgot my rhythm. I started doing every other increase and decrease. Oh yeah, because at the moment I have a few projects on the go. So I have my cascade tank top that needs to be prioritized, and I have my winter socks that I would also like to prioritize because they are a part of a project where I try to figure out socks, or I try to fine-tune socks, because I have one sock formula that works, but I would like to have a sock formula for colorwork socks, and that I don't yet. And then I have this, which is a quite mindless knit that I mainly knit at work. It's a good thing for meetings because I don't have to think, and not thinking is what brought me into this mess the first time, when I just cast on what felt like the right number of stitches. But I don't know if I would like to have more works in progress, or if I should limit myself. What would be the best? I used to be a monogamous knitter, and then I started knitting more complicated patterns, and I realized that I do need something that is just easy, mindless for my hands to do, preferably without me having to look, and I want something that is more challenging for whatever reason. If it's more technically challenging, or the fit, or the pattern reading, or if it's a new technique that I haven't mastered, that doesn't really matter, but I want something that is more challenging. So that is one row. And now it is decreasing quite rapidly because I am knitting together so aggressively, which I think is good, because I've been at this for a very long time, I feel. But I had my lunch, I talked to some co-workers, and now I've been in my office for a little while, and I'm just about to go back to work, prepare for my 1 o'clock meeting. And tonight, as I said, we have an after work function, and then I am headed home, probably not in time to go to the post office to pick up the new yarn, but maybe. So maybe you'll see it today, maybe you'll see it tomorrow. What a tease. You'll have to be patient. I am on my way home after work with my co-workers. We had a great time, and as you can see, it is well into autumn because shit gets dark. Thank you for watching. I hope you had a great day, and I hope to see you tomorrow, where I hopefully have time to pick up my new yarn. I'll see you then. Take care. Bye.